If you're Canadian and you buy US stocks, you're probably making these mistakes. I made all of them. They cost me thousands of dollars over time. And most Canadians don't even know about these problems until it's too late. So in the next few minutes, I'll show you what to avoid and what to do instead. Hi guys, my name is Charan. I'm 27 years old. I live in Canada and I've been investing in US stocks for over 7 years. When I started, I thought it was same as buying Canadian stocks. But in reality, it's not. So if you live in Canada and you invest in US stocks, then you need to listen to this video. And I'm going to save you from same mistakes that I have made. So without wasting any time, let's jump in. So the number one mistake is withholding tax. And according to me, this is the biggest problem. So here's what happened. Let's say you buy Apple or Microsoft. They pay you dividend, right? And when you get those dividends as a Canadian, the US government take 15%. And that's automatically. You don't see it happen, it's just gone. Now, if you're using a regular taxable account, you can get it back when you do your taxes in March or April. And it's called foreign tax credit. But if you're holding these stocks in your tax savings account, that 15% is gone forever. You will not be able to see it after. So you can claim it back. And there's no tax credit in tax-free savings account as well. So let me give you a simple example. Say you have $10,000 in US dividend stocks in your tax-free savings account. They pay 3% dividend, and that's $300 per year. So 15% of $300 is $45. So you lose $45 every year. And for over 20 years, that's $900. So it's just gone. And here's the thing. A lot of popular US stocks pay dividend. We can see Coca-Cola, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble. They all are big dividend players. And if you bought any of these in your tax-free savings account, you're losing money every quarter. And I did not know this when I started. I had many dividend stocks in my tax-free savings account for 2 years before someone told me. And I calculated it. I lost about $300 just from not knowing this one rule. So what do you do? And it's not complicated, it's simple. Put US dividend stocks in your RRSP instead. Canada and US have a deal. It's called tax treaty. If you hold US stocks in RRSP, you don't pay that 15%. You get the full dividend and use your tax-free savings account for just Canadian stocks or US growth stocks that don't even pay dividends like Tesla, Amazon. They don't pay dividends, so there's nothing to withhold. So I'll just save the dividend stocks for my RRSP. And this one mistake cost me hundreds of dollars before I learned about it. And don't let this mistake cost you too. Mistake number 2, currency exchange fees. Every time you convert Canadian dollars to US dollars, you pay a fees. Most people don't even notice, but it's there. If you use, if you use big bank like TD, RBC, or even Questrade, you're paying about 1.5% to 2% every time you convert. So if you convert $1,000, let's say, you lose about $15 to $20 just on exchange. And if you do that 10 times, you just lose $150 to $200 for nothing. So what's the fix? If you just invest in ETFs in the US, you can always find an alternative. Let's say you're investing in S&P 500. You can always invest in BFB. It's in Canadian, it's in Toronto Stock Exchange. It tracks S&P 500 and it's Canadian dollar. So you will not even lose single penny on conversion. And the second option is use a cheaper platform. I know Questrade or Interactive Brokers. They have lower fees than the big banks. And option 3 is, this is what I do now. Keep US dollar account. Convert bigger amounts when the rate is good. So instead of converting $5 10 times, convert $5,000 once. Lower fees, more control. And stop letting your currency conversion eat your money. And a mistake number 3, use the wrong account. And a lot of Canadians put everything in their TFSA because it's tax-free. But not everything should go in your TFSA. Let me break it down for you. So TFSA is best for Canadian stocks or US stocks that don't pay dividend, like Nvidia, Tesla. Because remember, US dividends in TFSA get hit with that 15% withholding tax. And RRSP, that's best for the US dividend stocks, because you don't pay withholding tax in an RRSP. Also, your TFSA has limited room, don't waste it. Think about which account makes sense for each investment, and it matters more than you think. So the mistake number 4, I just learned about it, US estate tax. And this one is a little scary. If you have a lot of money in US stocks, the deal is that if you die with more than $60,000 in US stocks, your estate might have to pay US taxes. And that's up to 40%. And most Canadians have no idea this thing exists. So what do you do? And option 1 is keep your US holdings under 60,000 if you are worried. And option 2 is that buy US stocks through Canadian ETFs instead of directly. Because technically you own an ETF, not the US stocks. And that can avoid the estate tax. And option 3 is that talk to a tax professional. And mistake number 5, only buying US stocks. And the US market is exciting. It grows at the rate of 10% every year. So the stocks like Tesla, Apple, Amazon, Nvidia, all the big stocks are there. But the US is only 16% of the world's stock market. 40% of the opportunities are outside of the US. But most Canadians only buy US stocks. They ignore Europe, Asia, and everywhere else. And you don't need to become an expert on every country, but add an international ETF to your portfolio, something like VXUS. It gives you exposure to a stock outside of North America. And I recently started my position in VXUS as well. And according to me, why this matters is that if you're 100% in US stocks and the US market crash, your whole portfolio will crash. But if you have global stocks, different markets move at different times. It smooths out your returns. And also the US dollars goes up and down against the Canadian dollars. And if the US dollar drops 10%, you lose 10% even if your stock stays the same. So global diversification always protects you. So now I keep about 5 to 10% in international stocks. Alright, let's do a quick recap. Mistake number 1, not understanding withholding tax. Put US dividend stocks in RRSP. Mistake number 2 is currency exchange. Mistake number 3, wrong account. Match your investment to the right account. Mistake number 4 is US estate tax. Plan ahead if you have serious money in US stocks. And mistake number 5, only US stocks. So add some international exposure. And these mistakes cost me thousands of dollars and you don't have to make them. If this helped you, subscribe. I make videos like this every week. And if you want me to show you my actual portfolio and how I structure everything, leave a comment. Alright, thanks for watching and see you next time.